Hello everyone, Brian here, Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. I want to show you this car here. This is a really nice car. 1 litre turbo, Honda Civic, and this is a Smart Plus model, but it's a bit different to the other ones because it's got that really cool looking Honda Access body kit on the front and the side and the rear of the car, and it just looks different to all the other ones around. Anyway, just before we get started, if you want information on this really cool looking Honda Civic, Brian's my name, 086 843 1945. Call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits if you want information on the car, if you want information on finance or information on trading in your own car. And we are Fitzpatrick's Garage, a family run business in operation for almost 70 years, and we know the Honda product really well, so you know you're going to be looked after when you buy a car from us. So in the rest of the video, we're going to have a look at the features on the outside of the car, and then we're going to have a drive in the car, and we're going to look around the features that are on the inside of this really cool car as well. The first thing that stands out to me is the colour. It is a 3-stage white orchid pearl. Look how cool that colour is when the sun shines on top of it. It's so deep and shiny and reflective. It's really nice. And those wheels they look initially black, but they're actually a diamond cut finish. So when you actually put your hand up to them, you can see there's a lovely reflective surface on them, and that's really cool on a nice evening like this evening or under artificial light. The next cool thing on this car, and it's definitely something that makes it stand out, the Honda Access body kit. This is a genuine body kit consisting of a front lip, which is underneath the normal front bumper on the car, and it's also then got side skirts down the side of the car as well. And if you moved around onto the rear of the bumper, then there's also going to be a little lip spoiler underneath the rear of the bumper, again just to finish it off and make it really congruent looking all the way around. These cars are already very striking looking. When you pull into a petrol station, a lot of times people will always take a second glance, but this car with the extension kit all the way around, it's a really cool, aggressive looking vehicle. Other features then on the outside of the car, there is parking sensors at the front, and there's also a nice front fog light down low, and this headlamp cluster has this really nice daytime running light, and the fulls and dips, as you can see in a while, they're going to be auto adaptive, but we'll talk about that later on in the video when we talk about safety. Another thing I love in these cars, the side marker lamps in the wings. When you're at the front, side or even at the rear of the car, they just mark out the front end of the car and make it look really wide at night time, and these are a cool car to drive behind at night time. It's a really obvious kind of shape, so if you look at those tail lights, they're nice LEDs, and the layout just makes it a really distinctive vehicle when you're travelling behind one. I think they're damn cool. Other features on the back of the car then, parking sensors are going to be standard back here as well. And one other thing that people forget to mention, the spoilers on the rear of the car, while they look really cool, they're actually there to channel air off the rear of the car in the most aerodynamic way possible, but they happen to look pretty cool as well. So if you want a cool looking car and something that looks a bit different than everything else on the road, then these cars are definitely worth considering. Anyway, let's see how it drives. This is the 1 litre turbocharged VTEC turbo engine. Let's see how it accelerates going onto the motorway from 0 up to 120 kilometers an hour. That gearbox is so nice to use, and as you see, there's a nice sound off the engine, and it actually gets up to the speed very quick, but it's also a lovely chassis as well. Because the chassis is really wide, it makes the car really kind of sure-footed, so it gives you confidence when you're driving the car, which is important anyway, and it makes you feel safe. It's actually fun as well. Independent rear suspension, the previous model had a solid beam, whereas these ones are actually independent on the back, so it's really predictable in how it kind of behaves over compressions and bumps. And again, like everything, don't take my word for it, so come try the car yourself. But what I do find is, when I tell people what I tell them in the videos, when they do come to try the car, it's exactly what they get. Another cool feature on these cars is the boot. We have used these cars to go on holidays every year, and there is a serious boot. So what we used to find was you could put stuff in the boot, and then you could let this tray back out of the way, and then you could pile stuff into the boot. So they're really good. And even then, if you have something awkward, you can let those seats down and you basically get a car style van. The other thing then is this car also has privacy glass on the rear, which looks really cool, but it's actually got a practical application as well. So when you sit into the back of one of these cars then, if I sit behind myself, right, this is at 6 foot, this is the amount of headroom I'm going to have, and this is the amount of legroom I'm going to have, and this is really sporty because it's black up through here, but that's what I was saying to you, the rear windows are privacy, which means we had a young child in the back, stops the sun beating on top of the rise. And the other thing then is there's 3 head restraints across the back. There is an armrest in through the centre with the drinks holder. And the other thing I found as well was the ISOFIX points in these, whatever it was about the car, I just find it so easy to get the to get the ISOFIX child seat in and out of the back of the car for some reason. And the door cards in the back then, they're going to have tweeters and speakers, and they're going to have some brushed aluminium around the door handles, which is also continued into the front of the car as well. Sitting in the car then, this is the interior you're going to look at. So over here, electrics for windows and mirrors. Down through here, controls for parking sensors, but there's other controls for safety equipment which are down here and down here, and actually we're going to look at them towards the end of the video, and they're quite useful as well, including the automatic lights and wipers. On this side over here then, I can control, if you look in through the centre and changing information, use that on the I button there, and what that's showing me It's information about maintenance, audio, Bluetooth, but the usual ones you're going to use are things like fuel efficiency and other things which are quite useful up here. The speed sign recognition, again, we'll talk about that in the safety part of the video. Moving over to the left hand side then, you have the big Honda Connect, which has your reverse camera, and it also has things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which basically allow you to use a lot of the apps that are on your phone on the screen. So essentially the screen becomes very much that of your phone. But if you don't want to use the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you're still going to have things like navigation, all your audio, phone in through there, and trip information and various settings overall. And like a mobile phone then, the screen is completely touch and swipe as well. So when you're looking for stations and stuff like that, you're just dragging along through the screen. Over here then, I've got heating controls on my side, I've got heating controls on the passenger side, front and rear windscreen demisters, and they also demist the wing mirrors. But if you want a little bit more, you've also got this climate button in through here, and it gives you more control over the climate. Again, all touch and swipe as well. In terms of in-car usage, you have things like HDMI if you had to play video, USB in through there, 12 volt outlet, and then over in through here, I've also got another USB connector in through the armrest, and the armrest moves backwards and forwards. And in around the gear stick then, you have a brake hold and an automatic park brake. So basically the car will not roll backwards on a hill if you instruct it to do so. And things like auto stop start and an economy function to reduce how aggressive the cruise control and the air conditioner is as well. Anyway, like what we said, there's a ton of safety features on these cars, so we're going to have a look at that now. This little panel on the steering wheel here plays a massive role in safety on this particular car. Let's face it, roads are really busy these days and people are really busy too. So people are really tired with so much traffic, there's bound to be incidents. Well, this kind of car, it's going to help you stay safe. Starting off, the headlights have high beam support and they're fully automated, and so are the wipers. When you're driving through a country area, then the headlights will be on full. Once you come into something like a lit up area, the lights dim, but once you get back into an unlit area, then they go back into full. Once you meet oncoming traffic, they'll automatically dip. So this car has come over the hill, the headlights have dipped. Once the cars pass by us, the lights go into full automatic mode and headlights come on again. This kind of stuff means that you have less to do, which means you have more ability to concentrate on what's in front of you. The wipers are also the same. Wipers then will sense the rain depending how heavy it is, so it'll work on various intermittencies just depending how much water is falling. It's also going to be equipped with a speed sign recognition. It's got a little camera up front and it's always watching the road ahead. In this case then, as we're about to leave the town, we move from a 50 into a 60 zone, which the car has recognised, and actually it's a very short 60 zone, and then we move into an 80 zone. And while that's really cool by itself, it's got a really cool function in the fact that you can link it to the speed limiter. The speed limiter has two ways of working. I've got a limit which limits my speed, so I've limited to 90. I'm flooring the car, it won't go past 90. Or I can limit to the speed zone. We know it's 100 because it says 100 over here. The car's going to accelerate up to 100. And now it's telling us that we're exceeding the speed limit. We're going to slow down to 100. I'm going to floor it again. And it keeps telling us that we're exceeding. I'll tell you now that it's going to save you a speeding fine one of the days, but there's other things on this car that are going to try and keep you on the road as well. The lane change warning, so we have the assist up here, but the warning is down here. And it just means if I drift into the white line, you can see the vibrating steering, and it's pushed us back, but it's not actually trying to keep us. What it's doing is just going to keep ping-ponging from left to right. Not as comfortable, but useful just for a warning. If I'd used my indicator, there would have been no problem. This one here, which we'll have a look at, is the lane keep assist. With lane keep assist, I'll hit this button here. I've got a symbol up through here. As you can see, we're going to go around the corner. I know I shouldn't do it, but technically, the car is going to keep us between the two lines for about 10 seconds or so. And eventually then you'll see a warning coming in here, which is telling us that we need to get our hands back on the wheel. But I am covering the wheel just to be safe. The car is still guiding us up to the centre, and now it's told us, put your hands back on the wheel. So basically, it's going to stop you exceeding the speed limit, and it's also going to keep you on the road, but it's also going to keep you away from the cars that are ahead of you. First thing we do is we set the cruise control. So turn it on, set it. At the moment then there is no car actually in front of us. So the reason that the silhouette is completely empty is that there's no car in front of us. We're just set like normal cruise control. So we're going to stay at 77 kilometers per hour. Once wherever traffic comes in front of us, you'll see the symbol has lit up to say that there is now a car identified by the camera. And we can basically now choose how far do we want to stay behind the car in front, so various distances, and the car will respect that. If the car in front slows down, we slow down. If the car ahead speeds up, we speed up until we get to that maximum of 90 kilometers an hour that we've set ourselves. So as you can see, the Honda Sensing kit, which is based on that part of the steering wheel, is trying to keep you safe on the roads, which, let's face it, are extremely busy and dangerous these days. So there you have it. That is a really cool looking 2020 202 registered Honda Civic 1 litre turbo Smart Plus model with a Honda Access body kit. There's quite a mouthful. Anyway, if you want information on the car, Brian's my name. Do not hesitate to give me a shout. 086 843 1945. Hopefully the video has been useful. Hopefully the car is of interest. Thank you for taking time to watch. And actually, if you're watching on YouTube and you're still watching, please do like and subscribe. If I've missed anything, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks a million for taking time.